Hey, so my name's Roger. Making this video. I don't know if you've watched my other videos. If you have, thanks for watching them. If you haven't, please watch them and subscribe to my channel. I just enjoy having somebody to share my stories with, pretty much, or my journey of weight loss with. So today I actually want to tell you how and why I lost 80 pounds. So what is it, in 2015 I went to the beach boardwalk, right? We went to the Santa Cruz beach boardwalk. I would always hang out with my friend and my wife, right? So we would go to different places all the time, and we happened to go to the boardwalk, right? So we went on the games, and I didn't fit, right? The guy tried pushing the little harness thing down, and it still wouldn't close. My chest just was too big, and it was a really embarrassing moment for me. I had to get off the ride, and my friend was able to go on the ride, but I mean, it was just really embarrassing for me to not be able to go on there, right? Later on in December, there's this thing in downtown San Jose, right, where they bring all these amusement rides, and they have like Christmas setups and all these kind of things, right? Like Christmas trees and stuff that you can look at, you walk around and all this stuff, right? It's called Christmas in the Park. So I went on the amusement rides, right? And the thing wouldn't latch either, right? That was really my turning point right there, where I was embarrassed for the second time on not being able to fit on a ride. And I honestly, it was like, it's one of the most embarrassing things that has happened to me, you know, because everybody just stares at you and everybody's looking at you while the guy's trying to force the machine to close on you and stuff, right? So it was just overall embarrassing, right? So anyways, that happened. So that was a really big turning point for me, right? Where I was like, man, I need to lose this weight. You know, I was 280 pounds, and I just looked at myself in the mirror. I had a double chin. I had a lot of fat rolls, and I wasn't comfortable with looking at myself in the mirror. I mean, I looked at myself and I was like, man, how did I let myself get to this point, you know? So that was a really life-changing turning point for me, pretty much. So my friend, he wasn't as big as me, right? But he was about 240, 250 pounds. He decided that he was gonna work out with me, right? So I helped him move out of his old place into a new house that they had rented out, and this new house had a big backyard, right? So there was a big nice spot where it was paved and covered, you know, with shade and all this stuff. And he decided that he was gonna buy some bench press benches, weights, and all these other things, like to do a squat rack and all this stuff, right? So that we could work out in his house. So we're like, all right, let's do it. And my wife and his sister would make fun of us, right? Because he bought all this equipment just so we could work out and stuff, but we weren't using it yet, right? So they would make fun of us, and we're like, no, we'll just watch. Once we get in shape, we're not gonna want to hang out with you guys. Once we go to the beach, it's just gonna be us two trying to get some girls and stuff, right? But it was just, obviously I'm married, so we were just messing around with them and stuff. So So we were in December by then, right? It was late December. So the holidays came around, so we hadn't started working out, right? Because we're like, well, we're gonna eat all this nasty food, right? Well, it's not nasty, it's pretty good, but it's not healthy for you, right? So we waited, and then January 1st came around. That's his sister's birthday, right? So we celebrated that. And the weekend after her birthday, we were all, I don't remember if it was a week or 2 weekends after her birthday, but I believe it was 2 weekends. We were all gathered in his house with his family, my wife, my daughter, and my wife makes this really good chow mein that she learned how to cook, right? And so that's everybody's favorite thing for my wife to cook, right? So my wife made it, and we had we were all gathered, all his brothers, us, his parents, everybody, right? So we were just there. We had a good time, and then on January 12th, my best friend, which was a brother to me, just a brother from another mother, he got in a motorcycle accident, and he did not make it, right? So I get a call that afternoon or that morning from his mom, right? I got a call the first time and nobody answered. They didn't say anything, right? So I hung up. I was like, okay. But I got a bad feeling after that call, right? Even though nobody said anything, I got a bad feeling, and I was just like, okay, it was like, I was just wondering what it was about. So I get a second call a couple minutes later, and it's his mom, right? She calls me and she tells me, Roger, Jared was in an accident on his motorcycle and he didn't make it, right? I was kind of in denial at first, and I'm like, well, does she mean that he just got hurt really bad, and he's in a bad state or something like that, I didn't want to accept that she meant that he passed away, right? So after that day, it was kind of depressing for me, right? Because he was a brother to me. Pretty much every weekend, I was hanging out with him. My wife, me, my daughter, we would all hang out with him, right? It was a strange thing if Jared was not hanging out with us on a weekend, right? Even during the weekdays, he would come over to my house, right? I don't work till the afternoon, right? I start work at 2, and he was a UPS driver, so he'd be doing the route where I lived, and he'd just come by for a break, and he'd just chill in my house, he'd eat something, and then he'd take off or whatever, right? So even during the weekday, he'd be with me. So I got a little bit depressed, right? So it was just something new for me, that the weekend came up and I wasn't able to hang out with my friend, right? Because pretty much everything I did with him, right? Whenever we went to let's say we would go make a bonfire, we did it with him, Pretty much the only reason we went out was because he would always push everybody to do something else, right? So we would always go do bonfires. We went camping. We would just go to the beach on random days, even though it was cold, and he'd go in the water, being as cold as it was, and we'd go to the snow, So we went to different places, and so he was a brother to me, right? So in February, I decided, right, pretty much to cope with the idea that my best friend wasn't around anymore. I just decided, I'm like, you know what? Me and him said that we were going to do this stuff. We were going to do this thing. And, well, he's not here to do it with me anymore, so I'm going to do it myself. And this is going to be a way for me to cope with him not being here anymore, right? So I did. I started the very first day of February. I just started working out every single day. In the morning, I would get up, do my cardio. You know, I bought myself a punching bag. I hung it up in my garage, and I'd punch that every day. You know, I'd work out with that also. I got myself a jump rope also, and I'd also do some jump rope. So that'd be an everyday thing for at least an hour in the morning every day, right? And I also dropped eating any kind of fast food, right? I would eat McDonald's every single day. Every single day. If it wasn't McDonald's, when my mom had her days off, we'd go to Burger King or we'd go to Panda Express, right? So regardless, I was always eating junk food. So once I started working out, I dropped all of that. I dropped soda, I dropped juice, right? The only thing I drank was water. Water every day. I drink a gallon of water, right? I'd go to grocery outlet and I'd buy 30 gallons for the month, right? So it'd come out to like 30 something dollars, probably like $33 around there. And that's all I would drink throughout the day. Also, I'd only eat chicken, salad, and fish. Nothing else. And I did that all starting from February up to late August, right? And that's how I lost the 81 pounds. I just really put my mind to it, you know, and I said, well, this is something that I'm gonna do because it was something that I had said I was gonna do with my best friend, and that was that, right? So yeah, I mean, I got it done, and at the end of it, I was 199 pounds, and I was really happy how I was on how I was looking, right? But my mistake was that at the end of August, I said, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to take a little break, right? How it won't hurt me or whatever, right? After my birthday, I'll start up again, working out just to maintain my weight and whatever, right? Well, the last week of August went by. I didn't do any workouts, you know. I would go out, eat like fast food out in the, you know. September came by, my birthday came. I was eating more fast food, more junk food. September came and went, and I never started working out again. Right, so it's been since pretty much late August of 2016 up until now in December 2017 that I started working out again, and it's for the same reason, right? Because I looked at myself in the mirror and I noticed that I had just gotten fat again, right? So I gained 53 pounds, right? I was 252 pounds back in December, and right now I am at 218 pounds. So I've lost 30 something pounds already, right? But Well, my goal was to get down to 215, but once I get down to 215, I'll probably want to go down to 200 or 199 again, right? So I don't know, but my goal for the end of this month is to get down to 215. So we'll see where this time, where it goes this time around. This time around, I'm not gonna make the same mistake and let myself go again. So yeah, if you enjoyed my story, please subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions or comments, something you want to let me know. So yeah, that's about it. That's how I lost my